We have seen one of the worst stock market crashes across the Asian market. We have Japan, we have South Korea, we also see Taiwan stock market crashes to worst day in 57 years. We've had one of the most volatile moves to the downside since the C19 crash, also comparable to the 2008 financial crisis. Now, is the worst still to come, or are we going to get a massive V-shaped recovery in the next coming days and weeks? We'll be analyzing some news here after taking a look at the charts, guys, on higher time frame, on Coinbase and on Bybit, explaining the higher time frame levels of support that we do see here for a potential bounce. We'll be also zooming in on the lower time frames to analyze the local levels of resistance and see what would be a sign of strength to continue this bull run, or are we going to form a lower high and continue to the downside? Of course, the local levels of support to take into consideration. Without further ado, let's dive in here on the higher time frame. Quick reminder, there is a bluffing trading competition where there's $300,000 prize pool. Make sure to join the Bitcoinsensus team. We are very likely going to get a piece of the cake, guys, here from this prize pool. You also get 15% cash back if you haven't signed up for bluffing. It's a no KYC platform. You do have the links down below to sign up and join the competition. Let's dive in here right away through higher time frames, keeping it extremely simple. This is the Coinbase chart on the weekly. Where we got an exact bounce here was from the value area high from the range of 2021 to 22. You can see we gently tap that level, filling this order block, okay, that we do have on the weekly, right? As you can see, already getting a massive reaction and a bounce of several $1,000s. Now, when we go to the Coinbase chart, all right, to the Bybit chart, sorry, we can see that we slightly front run the point of control, the highest volume node from 2021 and 2022. And I'm still taking this level into consideration. A trading plan that I do have on higher time frames, that is if we do not V-shaped recovery from here, which also could happen, but we need to break some resistance levels that I'm going to mention on the lower time frames now in the next coming minutes. But overall, keeping it extremely simple, we can see that this point of control from 2021 was massive resistance. Look at how we got rejection here back in 2022. Also, here in 2024 in January, as we were having the ETF approval, we can see how we got that huge rejection from the $47,000 range. We tried an attempt in breaking and got a major pullback all the way back down to $39,000 with that pullback of almost $10,000. This level hasn't been hit just yet. So I'm taking that level into consideration just in case the price does come back down, retests that level, and I would be looking for a failed auction kind of scenario. When we do zoom in to this level over here, we can see how we are forming a bullish pattern. It is a descending, broadening wedge where we do have the lower highs and the lower lows support respecting here very, very nicely. So could we get that one more leg down after the dead cat bounce, retest that level? I would be very much considering this $47,000 range as massive support, as it has been resistance, and we could see a big double bottom at that level. That is if we do get down there, guys. It is a possible scenario that I would be looking at here for a reaction. Of course, if we break down and go to $40,000, I would be not interested in attempting that swing long position. Now, let's dive in on lower time frames, guys, and keep it extremely simple on the scenarios here where we should be seeing a sign of strength and seeing the bull market continuing to the upside. Of course, we should be breaking $60,000 level. You might think, why do we need to break $60,000 level? Well, that is getting back inside of the value area low from this entire range that we formed since February, March, okay? The value area low, this is crucial. Getting back inside of this level, without a doubt, I would see continuation to the upside and a high chance that we could be going to all-time highs. Of course, are we going to get up there? Are we going to manage to break it? Well, we're still $5,000 away from that zone. And just to keep it very simple from this value area low here, what we need to take into consideration is the lower high resistance trend line that we do have. Now, this would be looking like a bump and run pattern. Of course, we need to see that breakout potentially in the coming days if we do get that V-shaped recovery. Remember, back in the C19 correction, we did not retest the lows. We just got a massive V-shaped recovery after having such a volatile move down. There is massive fear, guys. Fear and greed index is at extreme fear. This is when the price usually could get a huge, massive recovery, something that we need to take into consideration. But a confirmation, without a doubt, would be breaking this lower high resistance trend line in the next coming days. Of course, that would be another move of over $5,000. Now, this is in confluence with the value area low from the entire range since February, March. We need to get above this level, because if we fail to do so and we consolidate there and having several attempts and trying to break through, this could fail miserably and come back down. So that reaction is not going to be good at that level. We could be seeing a major pullback. However, if we just suddenly slice through that level, without a doubt, that would be a sign of strength. I would be looking at this level to maintain as support, this $60,000 range, to continue to the upside and have an attempt in breaking the point of control at $67,000. Okay, so there will be likely a nice move to the upside if we do break above $60,000. This is higher time frame, guys. Now let's zoom in on the 1 hourly time frame to understand what is happening here locally. And I'm going to keep it extremely simple. Looking at the session volume profile, we are currently trading slightly above the previous day value area high. Let's zoom in on the 30-minute time frame. Are we going to manage to maintain this level as support? As you can see, we do have the point of control and the value area high from yesterday. We kind of want to hold this level, as you can see here, and continue to the upside. Now, your question is, of course, this might hold. However, the price action during the last 24 hours has been extremely choppy. It doesn't look too convincing that we are going to bounce here and continue up. We might be breaking down. So what I am doing here is basically nothing, because there are some much more important levels that I want to take into consideration. And of course, that is this naked point of control, where we do have a lower high right over here. This zone, all right, is going to be a zone of interest and a possible rejection, so I can get into a possible day trading setup. Now, if we do continue to the upside, I am not interested in this area to do anything. And the main reason why is because we had a fast move down here, as you can see with the candlesticks, and this means that we have not strong resistance. There's no strong resistance at this area in between $56,000 and $59,000 range. So the $60,000 level here, where we do have this lower high and this naked point of control, is a reaction level. That is where I have some alerts, and I would be looking for a possible short trade, because it's a rejection level, right? You got a high volume node, you got a lower high right over here, and this zone is very likely going to get some kind of reaction. Would be speculating on a short trade. Not interested here, because we could move very fast to the upside. Now, what if the price breaks down from this pivot point, right? From the value area high from yesterday and the point of control. That would be clearly a sign of weakness. I would be expecting the price to come to much lower levels. Of course, we're going to have to be analyzing the CVD divergence. If we start forming some incredible bullish CVD divergence here, and we're coming down to possibly just sweep up this low. This is a low that I am paying attention to. We could just basically hit that level, get a major bounce. Of course, we're looking at resistance at the previous day point of control. We could be coming down to lower levels. These are zones where we are looking for some potential day trading setups. And of course, if you want more information on what is happening inside of the day, you want to join the Legends trading community. I'm going to share with you something that was mentioned yesterday, and it was basically this zone right over here, potentially looking for a rise to the upside and a rejection from this exact level. This was mentioned yesterday as we were trading at the $51,000 range, looking for for this $50,000 level to actually maintain as support, get the rise to $55,500 area, and get the rejection because of a technical level. This is the move that happened in the last 24 hours. This exact movement, looking for the potential longs and the potential shorting trades right over here, where we were looking to take profit exactly at the VWAP and the previous day point of control that was acting as support. These are very, very technical levels. Yesterday's point of control was exactly right over here, where we did get the rejection to the VWAP, and this was an insane short opportunity. Of course, already out of that position because we got that really nice consolidation here at this level, and it was a take profit zone. So more in detail, if you want to see the price action in the next coming hours, I suggest to join the Legends trading community. We do daily updates on what is happening here locally, just like what happened yesterday, predicting the low at $50,000 range and also rejecting from 55,500, looking for those beautiful intraday setups. Now, you have the first link down below, okay, where if you want to join the Legends trading community, where I spend hours every single day analyzing the local situations. Diving in here, guys, like I said, I'm going to keep it very simple. If we do lose the previous day value area high and the point of control, which is currently sitting at 54,900, which we are maintaining as support, as you can see during the last few hours, that will be a major sign of weakness. The price could move down all the way to the value area low. Depending on how we react to this low, it will be interesting to see if we are going to maintain as support and get the bounce, okay? Some major levels here, just a little teaser here on what we're looking at here in the Legends trading community. We like this low. We could go down all the way to the value area low. If it gets volatile, we're just sitting on our hands for any long positions, because this could break down all the way down to the lows, and then we'll be analyzing the situation all the way down here. Those are the major levels of interest on lower time frames. Looking at this naked point of control, this lower high, crucial level of resistance at $59,000-$60,000 range, where we could reject. If we do break down, this would be a sign of weakness. I would be expecting lower levels at least to claim this low. And also, if we do break down from that low, this is a moment that we need to be extremely cautious to see if we find some proof of support. If not, the low is going to be taken by Monday at $49,000. Taking a look at the news, guys, well, we do have the fear and greed index, okay, at extreme greed. This is actually good for a reset. Could it get worse? Well, absolutely it can, but overall this is good for the market. We like the market to have a massive correction, to buy at cheaper levels and get people extremely fear, right? The bull market is over. We are going to lower levels. We've only had the Bitcoin halving 2-3 months ago, right? So I still think that this is still inside of the bull market in higher time frames. We probably have the emergency meeting, cutting rates, money printer going on, maybe the economy, and there's no recession going to happen in the coming months, and we're going to see a massive recovery. This is very much on the cards as well, guys. So going through, like I said, Taiwan stock market crash, the biggest crash in 57 years. We've seen this across Japan, Korea, so Asian markets absolutely collapsing. We've seen the S&P 500 also with a big major hit during the last few days of almost 20%, right, in about a week or 2 weeks or so. So big correction overall on the markets. Is it time to start recovering, or is it going to get much worse? Something interesting. Biggest volatile move since the C19 crash, okay? For 4 years, we haven't seen such a volatile move to the downside. Usually, this is a good signal that you could be very close to a bottom, okay? This is when we started the recovery. The 2008 crash, the C19 crash, the 2015 sell-off that we had a major sell-off, massive recovery after that. These big volatile spikes that we do have to the downside, usually means that we could be having a local bottom very, very soon and getting a massive recovery. It's just purely based on data, guys, right? Yes, the world doesn't look great at the moment. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of, different scenarios that look very bearish to enter a massive recession, depression. But overall, we need to go with the data that we do have from the previous years. What we do see here is high probability in September that we're going to get 50 basis point rate cut, okay, in September. This is just very likely going to happen, if not sooner, if we do get that emergency meeting to cut the rates ASAP, all right? And also Something very interesting that we do see from this chart is I still strongly believe that we are in the middle stages of the bull run, that this is not the peak, and this is potentially a bear trap on the higher time frames. This does not mean that we could not go and retest $48,000 or even go to slightly lower levels in the immediate short term in the coming weeks. This doesn't mean that we could actually go down there. We still have a little bit of room according to Elliott wave analysis, right? We could be retracing all the way down to the $42,000 range, which is the 618 Fibonacci. If we are considering this as a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, we are inside the wave 4 still. All right, according to timing is good. It's the exact same timing from the wave 2. Wave 4s are usually larger in timing, so everything points out that we could still see consolidation, maybe a few $1,000s more to the downside on Bitcoin before we get the massive recovery into the end of the year. Okay, still very bullish on higher time frames, nothing to be worried about. This is very much needed for the market to get this major pullback. What else do we have here? This could be definitely a bear trap, okay? And we could be seeing that massive recovery after this downtrend. So I still strongly believe that we are still in bull market territory on higher time frame, and we've had massive long liquidation, just clearing out those over leveraged long positions around about $1 billion. Okay, we can see in the last 24 hours, of course, with that movement down from yesterday. So overall, this is healthy for the markets, guys. I think, you know, they get fear, extreme fear. These are usually when we do get the biggest buying opportunities, and altcoins are in a very big discount. You want to get those good altcoin projects, and if you do want to speculate on meme coins, well, obviously that is your own decision. I've been buying some very good altcoins, guys, so I'm overall not scared about this drop. This is just bringing a huge discount, so very excited for the next coming months and years with these buying levels. Not much more has to be said, guys. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.